Everyone, Wendy here from the Indigo Doors. I actually wanted to share something with you. Well, I don't know if it was me so much as spirit dropping me hints to share the story with you. It's almost like it's the process of unconscious parts of ourselves becoming conscious. And I'm going to call it the spider bite. And it's a story that starts off with me kind of having this profound dream where all of everything is so symbolic in this world, whether it's dreams or anything happening outside of us, anything, it's all a dream. So in that way, every single piece of it, every single piece is symbolic. So it's like the answers are there if we look for them. So I've been processing and dealing with things just like everybody else, right? And I had this dream, and it's profound. Like I'm in this mountain range. I know consciously in the dream, I'm dealing with some belief systems, right? Because that's what mountains represent to me in my psyche. And I'm trying to like go the normal way that I go. And there's this being or spirit guide or something that comes, and he's traversing these mountains in a way that I didn't even understand, and it scared me. He was like in this machine, and he could up and down them, and he could kind of bypass any laws of physics, and it scared me a little bit. But there was other things in the dream, so just paying attention to all the little nuances, how I felt, all the little things that were happening, to kind of explain to myself how my brain is programmed in a way, right? Or my psyche, or these unconscious parts. And so I wake up from this dream and I'm like, oh, that was interesting. And I've never really had a spirit guide in my dream that profound before. His name is Steve. and I'm kind of half awake, half asleep. And he goes to me. I'm still kind of talking to him, but I'm totally aware I'm in my bedroom now. And he goes to me and he says, are you ready to switch tracks? And I said, yes, I want to switch tracks. And right at that moment, I hear a train off in the distance. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty magical, powerful. And so I go back to sleep. I fell back asleep. And I wake up the next morning, which happens to be Thanksgiving Day. And I'm like, oh, my leg hurts. What's going on in my leg? Knowing that I had this profound dream, or knew that it had some significance to it. And I feel my leg, whatever. And I notice that I have this big bite on my thigh. I'm like, that's so weird. It almost felt so bizarre, almost like some alien abduction thing, because, I had like leggings on. So I was like, there's no way that a bug is even penetrating these leggings. But anyway, so I kind of go about my day. It hurts though. It hurts like a bruise. It's kind of big and whatever. I go throughout my day, I go work out and I do all these things. And, it's getting worse and it's getting worse. And I'm like, wow, what is the significance? I know I do this work, right? What's the significance? Okay, bug bite. But there's a part of me that doesn't even want to really deal with it, right? One is Thanksgiving. And I don't even really want to necessarily process all of this stuff at the time, right? This is real human stuff, right? How do you actually deal with stuff that's coming up at you? And we're busy. We're all very, very busy people. And keeps getting worse. And I'm just kind of flowing with it, meaning I'm just letting myself have whatever experience I want with it. And I'm just noticing. So as I'm going through this experience, I'm definitely kind of a baby, not in a judgmental way, but like I want attention for it. Okay. And I'm just noticing who I'm reaching out to, who I want attention from, right? All of these things are signs. Now, some of these things we take for granted, right? We're just like, no, I just asked my husband, or I asked my friend, or I asked my girlfriend, or whatever. But wherever you're seeking, that's also your answer, right? So whatever. So I go through Thanksgiving, it gets worse. Friday, my whole thigh is swollen. What started out as a spider bite like this ends up becoming a spider bite like this on my thigh. Now it's Friday. And now I can barely walk. Guys, it was bad. It was really bad. And um, I'm not even really necessarily wanting to deal with this still. I mean, I'm aware of these things and I'm putting all these pieces together, but it's like not moving, it's not changing, it's getting worse, right? So I realize at this point that I have to, maybe I should call the doctor. Maybe I should go to the doctor. I don't want to lose my leg over this. But I was noticing this piece of me that wasn't really wanting to go there because I'm a healer, right? I do this work. I know how to heal my body. I've healed my body from lots of things. And seeing it as a opportunity, Friday night, I finally decided to sit down and talk to my body, talk to the spider bite. Now, those of you out there might be like, hey, it's a spider bite, those things happen, but every single thing that happens in this universe, every single thing is magical. Meaning even me allowing that experience to come in, whatever it is I'm experiencing has some significance for me. And I mean, I hope this story proves it to you. So remember, my leg's swollen now. I would show pictures, but it's really grotesque. Now it's like this. It started off with this, red circle, typical bite in the center, a swollen reaction kind of on the outside. Now it's this big, no joke. Now my whole thigh, I can barely walk. So I sit down and I'm like, fine. What is it that you're wanting to tell me? Right? So I tap into it. And of course, the thigh area is associated with your root chakra. It's like looking up all these things. I'm looking up I research, I do my work, do the research. I figure out what thigh means, what root chakra means, and then, what it could mean in association in my left leg and all this stuff. I sit and I connect with it and I just start crying, right? How I'm feeling. I was feeling very angry, very sad. And I just start writing this. I just start letting myself write. So I'm writing. I end up writing like 10 pages of this emotional, dumping, just emotional dumping, like things that I haven't thought about since my childhood. But it was all there, like in such a raw form. So I was able to kind of access these spaces that I didn't even know were still there. And I just let myself feel them. I let myself cry and I let myself feel them. And I wrote these 10 pages and then, then I'm exhausted. It's like midnight at this point, Friday. And, I put some crystals around it and around my leg, really doing what I know how to heal our bodies, right? And really just giving it the kind of nurturing it needs, the emotional aspect of it and the physical aspect of it. And I woke up the next morning and it was almost gone completely. And I'm sharing this with you partly because they told me to, but I feel honored and privileged because whenever I can teach something, it means I'm really learning it, right? And I'm hoping that it can inspire you to recognize that everything in this universe is here to help us. And how even a simple spider bite, or even if you're slamming your finger in the door, or anything and everything is here to show us or help us love ourselves more. Like without that spider bite, I wouldn't have been able to access those parts of myself. Like it was such a beautiful, beautiful experience. I mean, during those moments, I definitely didn't think it was fun, but I still had this wisdom within me knowing that I had to keep moving through it, meaning feel it. And then obviously the physical evidence of it, just literally with no medication, right? It seemingly getting worse. Believe me, my parents were telling me to go to the doctor. My friends were. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm a healer. I get this. So I hope that you are inspired to look at all of the magical symbolisms that are going on in your own life and to question what it is that they're trying to help you with. What parts of yourself are you needing to look at or to love? And I hope you all had a beautiful Thanksgiving. And I'm very thankful to be able to share my journey with you. And I'm thankful for you for listening. Much love to you all. Namaste.